but Neji's not important. Okay, we're done here.
Sai was like a queer. What are you talking about?
Okay. But he's a faggot. It doesn't matter if he's a faggot. The reason why I'm saying, okay, but you're not even listening. I'm telling you the reason why he's important. The reason why he's important and relevant is because he was part of Team 7 for the entirety of Shippuden. Meaning he got more screen time, more character development, and ultimately more interaction with and more interaction with Naruto than most of the other characters. That's the other reason I don't like him. I just said that he's more relevant.
I don't think
anyway. That's fine, but I'm saying, but you niggas are thinking that I'm playing favorites. I'm not playing favorites. I hate almost everyone in Naruto. I'm telling you who's around that I think is relevant. That there's a complete different thing. Anyway. Fuck, I said the Sanin, Itachi, obviously all the main villains. I'm not even gonna sit here and list all the main villains, but all the main villains are important.
He
Nah,
How the fuck he live?
Fucking
emo.
He drew a picture and whisked away.
What are you talking about?
Iruka Sensei is relevant. I mean, barely, but he is.
The who?
Iruka Sensei.
That was his mentor. You just gonna disrespect Naruto's mentor like that?
Yeah.
Nigga, I said he is relevant, barely, but
I thought you said it wasn't. I'm about to say don't.
No,
this is all the relevant.
Are you not? I'm listing all the relevant people.
All right, keep going.
Who else, boy? Yeah, I guess I can't even say. To be honest, I can't even really say Rock Lee.
What? Wow.
Nah, he's definitely not irrelevant.
What?
Like, thank you. I'm glad you feel what I'm saying. Like, what I'm talking about. I'm talking about for Naruto storyline.
Rock Lee had his moment with Gaara, and then after that, he kind of just became a secondary character. Like he had little flashes.
That's what I'm arguing with Neji. To be honest with you, like
he had little flashes in the pan.
I feel where y'all are coming from, but like everybody, I feel like everybody got written off in Shippuden. Like everybody who was like slightly important in Naruto.
It became more of a spectacle than a character-driven story.
Exactly.
That's the problem with Shippuden.
The first one in Naruto was all about them kids growing up, but then it was the Shippuden was more focused about him growing up as a character.
And that's why you don't see me like mentioning the only person I could say that's not a part of Team 7 that probably was relevant is Shikamaru.
Sure.
I can see that one. I can agree with you on that one.
But pretty much like that's pretty much my list. Like everybody else is like pretty much relevant, and Kabuto's relevant too.
Because it became less about developing the characters and more about. It seemed like every episode it was like they'd introduce a new ninja with a powerful jutsu. Like it was more just became more magical and shit.
So everybody else is irrelevant. So when y'all were like, Neji's death is such a big deal, I'm like, I don't know, boy. I think that's nostalgia.
I know. I remember when he died, JoJo couldn't contest. When he died, everybody on the internet was like, "Yo, they killed my nigga."
Not me, boy.
Like, just you, then. But everybody else was like, "They killed that."
Listen, let me tell you the best moments for me in Naruto, boy. When Neji died and watching all you niggas fucking cry about a nigga you didn't care about 2 weeks ago. Absolutely. Let me tell you why. Because niggas weren't like, oh man, I can't wait for the war. My nigga Neji about to turn up. Boy, if you don't get the fuck all the way out of here.
But he did turn up though.
Yeah, he did.
Yo, this is exactly the case of like they don't ride for you when you alive, but once you die, you the favorite. That y'all niggas got bully syndrome so hard, boy.
But he's not the favorite. But he's not irrelevant. He's very important.
Boy, I saw so many people dick riding Neji when that nigga died. Boy,
I'm like on the fence. I'm on the fence because like he had that moment in the beginning exam, whatever that shit is, the tuning exam.
Yeah.
But then also I could argue that Neji had one of the best fights in Naruto.
He did.
You can't forget that time that dude with the spider dudes pierced his damn chest.
That's what I told.
That was one of the best Naruto moments.
I was like, he risked his life to help him get Sasuke back and almost died doing it, trying to protect that. And you can't disregard this man and say, he irrelevant when he's done multiple times.
Bro, but here's the thing. In the ninja world, they say it from day one. Your life is, they show it in the first few episodes. Your life is always at risk and crazy shit's gonna happen to you. Sasuke almost died within the first 7 episodes. So for you to be like, he almost died. You know how many ninja have almost died and died in children? Okay, but I'm saying, but you're going off of the principle that just because someone almost died for something makes them so much greater than they are.
By volunteering? Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All those other things were missions. They were obligated to do them, but this was one thing he volunteered and said, "I'm gonna help you."
On his own.
It was not
a mission.
I mean, children don't volunteer for war, but there were plenty of ninja who died during those situations. And also, like I said, as ninja, it's different. You're taught from an early age. You are at risk. Your life is at risk when you go on mission. When you go out into the field, period, your life is at risk. You could be ambushed by enemy ninja from an enemy village, blah blah blah, XYZ. So like,
I feel like people.
Sorry, I can't.
I disagree because the whole system, the whole social structure of the Leaf Village was to make sure that would not happen. That's why they had a Joning watch over them. Like they were never thrown in that situation unless it was an exception.
I mean, other villages did the same thing. And also, if we're gonna talk about like times where ninja almost died and it was like really crazy, we have to talk about Gaara and Rock Lee versus Kimimaro because they should have died in that fight. It's just because Kimimaro had that Orochimaru cancer, boy.
Yeah,
that's the only reason that Rock Lee and Gaara didn't die.
They risked their lives to help them. So how are they not irrelevant either? Like Gaara is important. Gaara is definitely not irrelevant.
Yeah, Gaara is important. Gaara is important.
I can argue that Rock Lee has shown up multiple times in the anime in crucial. Like that's the thing. I think if a character shows up in crucial arcs where where something important's happening, they're not irrelevant. They have a point. That's why they're there. If they disappear for 3/4 of the show where the important arcs are, like that's the thing.
But I can argue that they're just a character that's picked for that specific thing to push the story forward, but not a character that's actually no, because using a character to push a story forward and a character that's part of the story that helps push the story forward is different.
Can we define what's irrelevant? Because in my opinion, Neji is like a B tier character, and I think that's why.
Agree.
He's not A tier, but he was important to the series, and I think it's the shock value because he wasn't like he didn't drive the story forward that much, but he was one of the Leaf Village's top flight savages, and that's why so many people were shocked that he died.
Yeah, and he was a safe pick out of all the ninjas that were on his level, because I think he was a Joning by the time of that war. He was a high probability of surviving that war. Like he shouldn't have died.
You expected him to survive. He was a top savage.
He had a bunch of missions under his belt. He shouldn't have died.
I feel like his death was too safe. I still feel like sacrificing Neji was like, oh yeah, Neji died, but like, you know, everybody else gonna be fine. So like,
I look at Neji as like Logic. Like he's not super mainstream rapper, but he's still relevant. He still has a core fan base. Like irrelevant to me is like Soulja Boy. Like, you can't call Neji Soulja Boy.
Yeah, like 1010 is Soulja Boy. Like there's no way you would relate 1010.
But 1010 is literally the most irrelevant character in that show.
Eno is irrelevant. Eno's more relevant than 1010. Like Eno is pretty fucking irrelevant.
I'd argue that she's more relevant. No, I'd argue that she's more relevant than 1010 because she serves as Sakura's foil.
For how long? They give up on it, like literally when he leaves the village.
But what has 1010? What is 1010's purpose?
1010 was a weapon. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying 1010's
okay, but you're talking about her power. What is her purpose? Who is she?
That's what I said. Eno is worthless too. By the time Sasuke leaves, she's thrown to the dust and Shippuden as irrelevant.
Okay, but here's where Eno becomes more relevant than 1010 though. You know her motivations. You know what she wants. Just because she decides, she is honestly in the same boat as Choji to me. Like they're not outstanding. They're just normal ninja that grew up in the village. Like, and they have their normal aspirations and shit like that.
Choji's way. I could argue.
Yes, because Choji got more screen time. And like the whole his whole thing was his struggle about being fat and like blah blah, and how when he got older he wanted to overcome.
So then would you say he's irrelevant too?
I'm saying. I'm not even talking about Choji. I'm saying like Eno is more relevant than 1010. You can't argue me that 1010 is more relevant than Eno. Like I'll tell you, you're out of your mind. About
even in my book, they're almost
not even.
They are
because you can't even tell me anything about 1010.
She's a weapons master. She uses a bunch of weapons to explore. That's exactly what it means.
Mm-hmm. And Eno can do that shadow possession shit. Not shadow possession. I'm sorry.
Mind possession.
Mind possession. Like
you're making even points. Like that's what I'm saying. It's an even point for me. Like they're both.
No. What you told me was what 1010 could do, and then I told you what Eno could do as an opposite. So obviously we both know what they can do, but you know Eno's motivations and what she wants and things that she wants out of life, whereas you don't know anything about 1010.
What does she want out of life?
She wanted to be with Sasuke, and she wanted to grow up and fucking own that flower shop.
And with that went away. What was that after that? So you're saying she was only used just for Sasuke?
That's fine, but I'm saying that's still more than you know about Tenten. You know nothing about Tenten.